Hi, it's Ryan from Knights Around the Table, and this is a tiny little game. It's an expansion called Dahlgaard's Gifts, an expansion to the Kickstarted game about magicians competing for the love of a retiring magician, Dahlgaard, called Trickerion. But you probably know all of that if you clicked on something that said unboxing Dahlgaard's Gifts. If you didn't know that, Dahlgaard is a creepy old magician in Trickerion, and the whole plot of Trickerion is that he's retiring and you and your fellow magicians are competing to win his favor and eventually get all the stuff that he has when he croaks. When he retires, I don't know what he's doing. I guess he's retiring. He'll die someday, unless he's that magical. If you haven't seen my Trickerion how to play video, I busted hump on that thing, and I'd love for you to watch it. I'll put the description down below. Check it out. This, meanwhile, Dahlgaard's Gifts. I think the deal was if you were a Kickstarter backer of Trickerion, you got all kinds of nice tchotchkes, like a box sleeve. You know how everybody just raves after box sleeves? And a few other things, and I think what they did was they parceled them out and made them available separately for purchase. So if you were a top tier Kickstarter backer, you got all the stuff that's already in here, and if you're just a schmo like me who caught on too late and still wanted the thing, then you pay extra. So I did, and here it is, and we're gonna unbox it. For most unboxings, I have no idea what's actually going to be in the box, and for this one, I have a pretty good idea. They list it pretty clearly on the back, and I'm familiar with Trickerion. I like the artwork, I like the theme. It's a very heavy game. The very first thing you see is a little placard that says Magician Powers, and it lists the additional game components. Now the interesting thing is, because it was all put together as a Kickstarter package, if you get Trickerion, you're going to notice that on the flip side of your player mats, on the Dark Alley expansion side, Dark Alley was an expansion in the original box, there are little slots for cards that go along the side of the board, but you don't have any cards to put there. These are going to be the cards to put there in those slots. They're different Magician Powers. And then the other thing that's in this little box is a separate set of rules for Duel of the Magicians, which makes it a better two-player game, a different two-player game. I'm not too sure what, but I'll find out when I play it. What else is in here? Oh yes, I was excited about this. Yeah, it's the little things. I don't know if you guys upgrade the components in your... I hate that. Am I the only one who hates that? When you gotta unlock a little Ziploc bag and you tear it. I have a million Ziploc baggies. It's more of a, here, you gotta give it like a delicious silica gel pack for good eating tonight. And these cute little dudes, look at this. Now everybody gets a little magician meeple. These are cool. They've got, you know, they're in the 4 colors. No extra player tokens or anything, because the game's really structured or tuned around 4 players. And I don't even know if you could add a 5th player to Trickerion. As a designer, I don't think everything's structured around 4 players. I think it'd be too tough for them to do. So it's still a 4-player game. These are the 4-player colors, little magician tokens. But if you've played the game, you know that these aren't actually the magician tokens that you're moving around the board to do anything interesting. You can either, I guess, put these on the score chart in the theater, or you can put them on the initiative track on the left. So you're not actually moving these around, you're moving around your little player discs. Dahlgaard. Dahlgaard, I don't know if we're supposed to trust or like Dahlgaard. He's teaching you his tricks. He's got a pile of tricks for you to learn, and it sounds creepier the more I explain it. He's got a pile of tricks for you to learn, and in order to learn them from him, you go downtown, as the game puts it. A deck of cards here. Dahlgaard. Show me on the rabbit in a hat where Dahlgaard taught you a trick. So this little deck of cards, if I were to estimate, I would say there would be about, I don't know, like 10,000 cards in this deck. And they are, looks like some of them are those special assignment cards that we saw from the Dark Alley expansion, and then some of them are, oh yeah, look at this. So these are the ones that go, I presume, at the side of your board. So you can spend Trickerion shards, I've read, to put these at the side of your little magician's board to gain cool abilities. What's this one? When you learn this magician power, immediately advance on the fame track until you're 6 steps behind the player directly ahead of you. Oh my god. What? Hold on, what? You may only learn this magician power once per game, I dare say, and you have to pay 5 money to learn it. Immediately advance on the fame track until you're 6 steps behind the player, the player directly ahead of you. So if you're second, you can be a closer second, I guess, and if you're last, you can be less last. I guess it's not, when I first read that, I was like, whoa, that's like a major rubber banding blue shell kind of thing. Let me read one more. Night Shift. You may place a character token first at the beginning of the place characters phase before anyone else places theirs. Oh, so it's like a bonus advance, go first kind of thing. Then proceed with the placement normally. Is that every turn? That's pretty cool, though. It's good power. Yeah, so cool. Good powers in the magician abilities. And there's a second deck of cards here. I like it when they put these little, I find this makes cards easier to open when they put the little rip strip. Again, like the first deck, if I were to estimate, there'd be probably like, I don't know. It's hard. I'm not very good at estimating, like 5,000, 10,000 cards, something like that. Oh, these are just more magician powers that go on the lower pegs on your board. So maybe these aren't as good as the other ones. Let's see. Oh, and they've got the fame thresholds, just like the tricks do. 1 fame, 16 fame. Fair player. If you haven't used any special assignment cards during the turn, you receive 1 Trickerion shard and 1 fame at the end of the place characters phase. So that almost dissuades you from going to the Dark Alley. And this makes me think that you can't play this expansion unless you're playing on the Dark Alley side of the board, which makes the game a lot longer, and it's already a really long game. Like, that's not a light game at all. I'm only allowed to play it once a year, and it's a special request, and today's actually my birthday. I might not get the video up on my birthday, but I'm shooting it on my birthday, and it's possible that if I play my cards right and I'm very well behaved, that my wife will deign to play Trickerion with me, so I'm pretty jazzed about that. More of these Trickerion shards, I think that's because they're more important currency with this expansion. You got to use them to get those magician powers we just looked at. And then they give you a really big one to replace the round marker. So that was nice. It's not as big as I thought it would be, but nice to have. It'll look nicer than the flat cardboard token, that's for sure. Finally, what else do we have? A couple more little decks. These ones, not as easy to open. They're going to require either teeth or a knife, but there's a little bubble. There's a couple of little bubbles in here. I don't like this. I don't like risking damaging cards. Okay. Did I get away with that? This looks like more theater cards. If you listen carefully in the Trickerion video, I called the Grand Magorian cards Grand Magorium because I wasn't paying attention, but I put Magorian in the subtitles because I'm sneaky. Most of these have the Black Cat Dark Alley logo on them, but they also have, I'm pretty sure that this would be the Duel of Magicians icon, so I'm assuming that these are 2-player theater cards. There's something a little bit different I'm noticing already, that, oh, they have fewer trick link. No. Oh, I see. Okay. So I guess one of the things they've done, and this is all without knowing anything about the expansion or reading the instructions, it looks like they've already planted like a ghost or dummy trick down there so that you can already, it's easier to make trick links already off the top. That's probably what those are about. And that's why you use them for 2 players, because that doesn't exist in a 2-player game. Somebody has to play, and then you have to, if you know the game, if you don't, just watching me to talk, then you have no idea what's going on. Great. And then again, this looks like another, I would say like 5,000, 10,000 card deck, something like that, give or take. This is, oh look, again, we have the Duel of Magicians logo on the back. These are all going to be Duel of Magicians cards. And it looks like they are pattern cards to show you, at a first glance, I'm just guessing that they tell you to block off various spaces. I don't know if this is going to be a per round thing, but in the base game of Trickerion, when you're only playing with 2 players, you have to take your character discs or other players' character discs, the people who aren't playing, and block off spots. And it's static. It's the same for the entire game. You block off these ones and they're done for the entire game. But this looks like it makes it a little bit more dynamic and unpredictable in a 2-player game. If I know Trickerion at all, I know the designers tend towards complexity, so I would bet dollars to donuts that you go through these during a 2-player Duel of Magicians game and the blocked off spots are constantly changing. So if there wasn't already enough to think about in Trickerion, that'll do ya. So yeah, that's everything. Let me just bring it all back into frame. Everything that is included with the expansion, the first expansion to Trickerion, for they have announced a second expansion to Trickerion, a larger one, Dahlgaard's Academy. I don't know what you're gonna have to do in Dahlgaard's Academy to earn marks. But that is it. I'm going to play it. I'll do a little video as requested by a few of you, and I'll show you how it goes and tell you what I think. Did you just watch that whole thing? Oh, hey, to 100% this video, click the badge to subscribe, and then click the bell to get notifications when I've got new stuff.